Hey guys, what's going on? This is Sergeant Merrill, and I feel like I haven't done a regular commentary in a while. And if you listen closely enough in the background, you might hear why. I have a 7-month-old daughter, and I got a little monitor beside my computer where I can keep an eye on her. So for now, she's happy playing in her room, but she keeps me really busy, guys. I'm a man of many hats in my family. I take care of my daughter during the day. My wife is a full-time photographer, so she has a lot of shoots and stuff that she has to go on during the day, so I'm in charge of taking care of the baby. I also run my design business. I'm a project manager for my design business, so I do that during the day. That takes up a lot of time. And then somewhere in between all that, I like to feed this YouTube channel with videos and content. And recently, if you haven't seen my website at this point, I highly recommend you to check it out because it's like base camp for Sergeant Merrill. It's like anything that I come up with, I put into this website and so much more. Before it was really difficult when a piece of news came out in the gaming world for me to sit there and develop a video for it. And anybody who's a parent will know exactly what I'm talking about. You'll be doing something, you'll be involved in something that requires your attention, and all of a sudden your kid, it's like they sense it in the back of their mind. They're like, ooh, they're getting involved in something. And I'll hear my daughter in the background. She'll be like, hey, the hell are you doing? Get over here and play with me. So something like a video takes more time, but with this website, I'm given a whole new platform to put out content. So we're putting out articles, any headlines that I see during the day that I think you guys would really like to hear about. I put my own spin on it. I have a couple really, really helpful writers that are contributing to the website as well. So I'm putting a lot more content out that I would ever be able to before with just my YouTube channel or just my Twitter and stuff like that. There's also a lot of cool aspects that I'm putting into the website. Like I have a chat function in there right now. You might hear some bings in the background because some subscribers are talking to me right now on it. I have a reward program, which is really cool. I'm experimenting with this right now. I'm kind of nervous about it, but right now I'm really enjoying playing around with the idea. And it's where if you tweet out an article or a video or even just visit the website on a regular basis, you earn these reward points that you can redeem for gift certificates and stuff like that. So I've been working on a lot of different things, just reaching for the stars. And sometimes it's really good just to come back, do a commentary, and say, hey guys, what's going on? How you doing? I have no idea where the Friends reference came from. Anyway, let's go ahead and skip into some different gameplay here. I know I've had this dogfighting gameplay, but I want to switch to where I've been using the laser guided missile, or I think it's just called the guided missile for the jet. And it works a lot differently than I thought it might. This is footage from when I first got it. And I'm just playing around with the camera. It looks really weird, but when you aim down, you actually fly down. And I was like, whoa! I don't want to fly into the ground. I thought that the camera would act completely independent to where you are aiming. So I thought it might be possible to actually, fly really high, aim downward, and just keep, this horizontal path over the target. And that's not necessarily the case. So what you have to do is you have to fly high and then come in at it as if you would with rocket pods. But not necessarily at an angle where you're flying directly at them. And then turn on the laser-guided missile or the guided missile and go into it that way. One thing I really like is when people are using SOFLMs, you can take advantage of that and just destroy helicopters. Helicopters are kind of difficult if you don't have heat seekers. A lot of people are like, oh, you just shoot them down with the guns. Well, a good helicopter pilot will know how to avoid that. And some of them can have engineers on them, which makes them difficult. I know the Vipers can't have the engineers, but if you get a good Venom pilot, it gets a little difficult because by the time you get into a range in which you can hit them with the gunner without missing, you're already flying past them, and they can just sit there and hover. Now, a disadvantage of this thing when you're aiming at ground targets is it'll bounce between ground targets really easily. So if you have like 3 tanks in the same area, and you're just starting to lock onto one of the tanks, it might accidentally switch to the other tank, and then you lose that lock, and it's really annoying when that happens. So that's another disadvantage to this thing. The biggest disadvantage of all, though, is it's very easy for a tank to disrupt your lock with smoke. The reason I even really liked the guided missile to begin with was that it was almost like a guaranteed disable on your first pass. Sometimes when you're using the rocket pods, you just completely miss your target, for some reason or another. Maybe you're just not aiming correctly. Maybe they're moving as you aim at them, but for some reason you miss your target, and then you got to take another strafe, and then you got to disable them, and then you got to go in for the kill on the last strafe. Sometimes you get lucky and you nail all your missiles, and then you finish them off with the gunner. But what this thing did that I really enjoyed, you get that disable right off the bat. Sometimes you get the kill. I hit him from behind on that one, and that really fucked him up. But that's what turned me on to the guided missile. Was, okay, I take that first pass, I get the disable. I take that second pass, I get the kill. That's not the case when you have an intelligent tank, someone driving the tank, whatever you want to call them, because they're just going to hit smoke. And when they do it, it's going to disrupt your lock, and they're going to get smoke way before you can turn around and do your second strafe. So it's possible for them just to sit there and smoke, and get rid of your ability to lock onto them. So if this was a showdown, let's call it a showdown. If this was a showdown between rocket pods and the guided missile, I'm going to have to go with the rocket pods because you're just so much more effective against ground targets. You lose the ability to lock onto helicopters like this can, but not many people run SOFLM, and if they do, they're kind of retarded about it. So it's not very dependable. It's just not a good enough reason to use this in comparison to the rocket pods and how much damage they can potentially do if you're good with them. It also has zero effectiveness against infantry targets. Unless somebody is getting out to repair the tank, you're not really going to get any infantry kills from the guided missile, whereas the rocket pod, especially if they're inside of a building, you can get a lot of splash damage, potentially take out the building itself, and it's very effective against infantry targets, especially as a deterrence. If you see rockets going into a building, it's really going to get you out of there. So it's rocket pods, again, good for that purpose. And I need to apologize to the enemy team. If anybody was on the enemy team and they see this video, me and my partner here were base raping a little bit in the jet. And it's hard not to in the jet because it's so easy for you to just fly over their base, throw a few rockets down, get them as they come in. And I know that's bad. It's bad to do that. But in our defense, there is an anti-air gun right there in the base, and they don't use it. They don't use it, period. And that's usually enough of a deterrent to keep the jets away. That anti-air weapon is not going to get jets that are across the map, but when they start flying over the base, man, you can take them out really easily. And they didn't take advantage of that. So it really made for it. This match just was really boring for that purpose. And not to mention that they didn't really have any experienced pilots, so when the pilots came into the air, we took them out rather quickly. So I want to apologize to the enemy team. That's bad etiquette. Don't base rape. Not a good thing to do. It stops them from being able to put on an effective offense. So, bad Merrill. That's all I got for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you check out the website and check out all the awesome content that we're putting out there. That's all I have, guys. This is Sergeant Merrill, out here.